I haven't been in the studio for the last 3 weeks. That's why this tutorial is the first in a while. Since the creation of music with artificial intelligence appeals to a very large audience, this video focuses on the new version of SUNO, version 4. I would like to show you what is possible and what experience I have gained so far. See you on the SUNO website in a moment. Before we dive in, let me introduce you to the homepage of SUNO.com. As a quick orientation, you can see selected and user-favorite music tracks here. Just have a listen and let the keywords, music styles, inspire you. Next is the Create area. This is the heart of SUNO, so to speak, because this is where the music pieces are composed. Then, there is the Library area. In this archive, you can see what you have already created. Next is the Explore section. If you have no experience at all, you can listen to different styles here. And finally, the Search section. Enter a specific keyword and let the search results guide you. Let's jump straight into the Create area and start generating music immediately. A brief introduction. The crucial, very user-friendly panel is located at the top left. We are currently still in standard mode. This allows you to generate music without much preparation. Then, there is the Instrumental section, which allows you to create music very quickly without song lyrics. And finally, the Custom section, which I will introduce to you a little later, because that's where it really gets down to business. Then, there's the Upload Audio function, which you can use to upload your own music. Make sure you activate version VE4 to be able to use the latest functions. The Need Ideas drop-down helps you to select and adjust your presets. For example, you will be asked, for which person or for which topic would you like to create a piece of music? This big blue button here is unmistakable. If you press it, SUNO will start creating music. I have already done a little preliminary work here and created some music. The prompt for this is a chill dance song about molten cheese. I simply wrote this text in the song description field and then clicked on Create. The other attempt was for an instrumental version. Here too, I simply entered the prompt, a chill dance song in the field and clicked Create. Again. Let's listen to the result together.
Melting, oh it's melting, golden and so dreamy.
It should be noted that SUNO generates 2 different music tracks for each conversion. Each of the rows you can see here represents a piece of music, so to speak. That would be the alternative to the first song.
Melting, oh it's melting, golden and so dreamy.
SUNO uses the styles groovy, dance pop, dance, and a female voice for these music tracks. This is quite interesting, but is part of the standard repertoire. And then I played the song without lyrics as an instrumental version. This gives us the following result. The alternative would be the following. You have now heard SUNO's interpretations from the standard mode. You can certainly work well with this, but it's actually quite a common and widespread character. Good music tracks, no question, but not at all influenced by the personal touch. Let's now go one step further and try to take music creation to the next level. SUNO offers separate navigation elements for much better control. What does that mean exactly? If I stay with this song Molten Cheese, you will see these 3 dots on the far right. If you click on them, another submenu will open. A little tip at this point. You can, no matter where you are with the cursor in this row, also activate the same submenu by clicking on the right mouse button. This is perhaps a little better because you don't always have to move the mouse to the far right. If you go to Create, there is the first sub-item, Extend. If you click on it, SUNO immediately switches to the custom section because you are now customizing your music track. With Extend, you have the option of extending your song. Instead of the suggested 2 minutes 11, you can also define that the song is extended from 1 minute 11. Then, there is the Reuse Prompt function. This allows you to use the previous prompt. You can see it here on the right, and modify it further. Next, there is the Cover Song function. This is actually quite exciting because you can use it to give an existing music track a completely different drive. Instead of style A, you can tell SUNO, please use style B. I have already prepared this for you. Let's just listen to it. That was the original song.
Computer man with a charming glitch, living inside the motherboard ditch. His code's a mess, but he's got that flair.
I then told SUNO, I want to generate a cover song, and this should be realized as a samba version. It sounds like this.
Computer man with a charming glitch, living inside the motherboard ditch.
The lyrics are exactly the same, but with a different musical style. Then I pushed it a bit further and used the industrial style. The result is as follows.
Computer man with a charming glitch, living inside the motherboard ditch.
You can clearly hear the same lyrics, but with different music styles. You can influence a lot with this. Now back to the sub-menu features. The next function is Make Persona. We will simply use the previously created song, Molten Cheese. It has an integrated female voice that you can save as a new master voice for other compositions via Make Persona. Simply click on Make Persona. SUNO will then show you which music track you would like to create a master for. Give the voice its own name. I'll call it Cheesey Lady. Below, you can create an avatar image so that you immediately have a visual reference to the new persona. Pay a little attention here. This button is set to public by default. Click on it to keep the voice private. Then save, and your first persona is ready. SUNO documents it over here in the list and adds the Cheesy Lady to your song. If you now create further songs with this persona, the female voice will always be used with these music styles. Next, there is the Get Stems function. This is actually quite simple. Stem means trunk of the music. If you click on it, SUNO will split the song into two parts. One is a separate audio track with just the lyrics, i.e., only the vocals. In the second track, you will only hear the instruments. The remaster function helps you to significantly upgrade earlier pieces of music. For example, a version 2 song becomes a version 4 song. These become significantly better because SUNO then also integrates the new qualities. There are other functions. With edit details, for example, I can, as the name suggests, change the title of the song. Clicking on Crop Song takes you to another area. There, you have the option of marking an area of the song that you want to adjust with a mouse click. You can see which text this affects here on the right-hand side. You have then selected these lyrics and can cut out exactly this section. However, if you don't like a whole section of the song, simply select Replace Section. You can then rewrite the lyrics here at the top left and tell SUNO, create new lyrics for this passage. You will also find the self-explanatory Add to Playlist function here. I don't need to explain the Share function either. The download offers you various file formats, and with Report, you can report errors. What I actually find very unfavorable. Unfortunately, SUNO displays all music tracks in a top-down list. As you can imagine, this can become very confusing at some point. My workaround here is as follows. You can see the Don't Like icon on the right. If you click on it, this song disappears into your library with the Don't Like label. Or you decide, because the song is really useless, to use the Move to Trash function. You can then throw the work result in the garbage can. It will also disappear from the dashboard, and the list will be a little more manageable. There is the following in the right-hand area. Copy link to share it with your friends. You can then like or unlike a music track, as shown above. Incidentally, all music tracks are set to private by default. If you want to publish them, simply activate the slider here. But what makes the whole music creation process really fun and exciting is the choice of a different mode, the custom mode. Let's switch to this mode. Just write something funny in the lyrics field at the top. Just start with a few words. It can also just be a confusing string of letters. If you want to laugh at the result of your work, then I encourage you to write some nonsense here. In the style of music section, you can make a wide variety of entries. SUNO supports you here with suggestions, or you already know what you want. For example, take the style hurdy-gurdy and EDM, or even simpler, the style soul. Simply enter it here in the field, or click on the suggestions that SUNO gives you. For example, pop, funk, rock, blues. You can also include several styles, for example metal, to generate a music mix. These are then the keywords to create the Mampfi song. But you can also exclude music styles. For example, if you don't like soul, then enter it here. However, you must then remove soul from the list of selected music styles at the top. This tells SUNO that you don't want soul to be included. Now let's just listen to the result of the Mampfi song with the style hurdy-gurdy and EDM.
Mampfi, get that cheese going. Cheesy, cheesy.
I then played the entire song as a soul version, of course. It sounds like this.
Get that cheese going, cheesy cheese.
So you see, the singers sing your lyrics in a nice rhythm. You can, of course, enter very serious and very funny lyrics in the lyrics field to suit your taste. But if you do it the way I do now, it's more than semi-professional. You can't create a serious piece of music like that. Much more interesting in this context is that you let SUNO write the lyrics. Simply click on this button, Write with SUNO. SUNO will then create a perfectly rhythmic text for you. For example, you could write, "A cheeseburger eats a Mampfi thing." This tells SUNO, come up with something for this prompt. The lyrics are divided into a fixed structure: first verse, second verse, chorus, bridge, and third verse. Then, determine the style of the music again. Let's use industrial noise and wave. If I click on Create, SUNO now generates 2 music tracks. For this example, I have created a special persona, as shown earlier. I can now also select this here. This is the hard rock cheeseman. This persona has the music style, heavy hard rock, and a very distinctive male voice. Again, I click on Create, and 2 music tracks are created. Now let's listen to the result of the work.
A cheeseburger with a grin so wide took a chomp at a man's surprise. It's a showdown on the lunchtime ground with flavors clashing all around.
That was version 1.
A cheeseburger with a grin so wide took a chomp at a Mampfi surprise. It's a showdown on the lunchtime ground with flavors clashing all around.
Of course, I can't play every piece of music in its entirety. That would take forever. The next 2 songs for a cheeseburger with a grin so wide are realized with the persona Hard Rock Cheeseman.
A cheeseburger with a grin so wide took a chomp at a Mampfi surprise. It's a showdown on the lunchtime ground with flavors.
And the other song,
A cheeseburger with a grin so wide. Took a chomp at a mom's surprise. It's a
You've seen, for the first one, I used industrial noise. There are some machines moving in the background, and integrated these song lyrics. For the second one, I used the persona Hard Rock Cheeseman, which I assigned before. We come back to what I mentioned at the beginning. You can also use your own externally generated piece of music via Upload Audio. To do this, click on the button above. You will then be asked by SUNO to confirm. You can then upload a track here. I have already done this once. I created this instrumental piano piece of music beforehand. It sounds like this. This is 19 seconds of piano music. Then I told SUNO, use this as inspiration and continue it. You can also hum, grunt. SUNO will then use this as the basic background music or carry on the rhythm it contains. The decisive factor here is that you must first upload the piece of music and then start it via extend. Here you can see, part 2 is the continuation of the original piece. The following was then generated as an extension of my audio upload.
A man sit under a bush one day, counting clouds that float away, thinking thoughts that never stay. In this quiet world he plays, he whispers secrets.
Here again, the original in comparison. If you are a passionate and capable musician with an instrument but without a band, then you can upload your piece of music here and tell SUNO to make the final song out of it. And what you have just heard is the result. The most interesting thing I wanted to show you is actually the following. You can also test the limits here. I went to Claude.ai's website and asked the computer to write me a completely scientific text about kangaroos in Australia. I was in Australia for 3 weeks and wanted to pay tribute to that. I then copied it, used it as song lyrics, and motivated SUNO to create the song Kangaroo Rumble. It was important to me that the original lyrics by Claude AI, you can see them here on the right, were used exactly. I then told SUNO, I want to do it with a violin and a piano. The result of the composition sounds like this.
Kangaroo populations in Australia. Introduction. Australia's home to several species of kangaroos. Iconic marsupials that have become synonymous with the continent's unique wildlife. These remarkable animals play a crucial role in Australia's ecosystem and
This is, of course, some random violin and a piano. You can also do the whole thing in a heavy hard rock style.
populations in Australia. Introduction. Australia is home to several species of kangaroos.
Or because I'm a fan of country music.
Kangaroo populations in Australia. Introduction. Australia's home to several species of kangaroos, iconic marsupials that have become synonymous with the continent's unique wildlife. These remarkable animals play.
The country music style is unmistakable. It makes the whole thing very interesting, of course. If you have any scientific text, just add music to it, and it will be sung to you. Last but not least, a really crazy story. I'll jump over to the library. I noticed something here that is probably a programming error. Maybe it will help the colleagues at SUNO. I have generated a song. What exactly did I do? I entered the following prompt in the custom area under the Write with SUNO function. Want a question mark, have a funny metal poster, question mark, and asked SUNO to write song lyrics from it. So what did SUNO do? As I am a designer, I found the result of the work extremely exciting because I like the interpretation of the content. I was very surprised because at first I thought to myself, I'm not in a graphics program here. SUNO didn't write any lyrics in response to my input, but honored my question with an answer that read as follows. Sure, here's a funny metal poster concept. This is a description of what the photo on the poster should look like. Below that is the text, and even the name for the band is suggested here. SUNO recommends the name Blood Clown. In any case, I thought to myself, well, if SUNO is already suggesting a concept for a funny poster to me, then of course I want to put it to music now. And that's what I did, of course. This is the result.
Sure. Here's a funny metal pedal poster concept.
A grotesque figure, halfway between a demonic beast and a laughing jester.
So you see here, SUNO is now singing himself about the suggestion for the graphic interpretation of a funny poster. Wonderful. That's how you imagine design. But anyway, it's definitely fun. That's it. This section is a bit longer this time. I hope you enjoyed it. Just give SUNO a try. It's incredible. I sometimes lie under the table and laugh my head off, with tears in my eyes. You can really let off steam and do the most amazing things. Just grunt into the microphone and see what comes out. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and recommend it to others. Thank you very much for listening. See you soon. Your channel. AI. Now you know.